showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the T-O-P from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my toucan, Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey, also known as Clark Griswold. The whole family over for the holidays.
What's going on, brother?
What is going on, Mr. Mikey? Hey, Bill's got a dub, huh?
They did. I am in a little better mood this week. Still wasn't completely happy with it, although it's pretty nice to know you can score 31 and only score 2 offensive touchdowns.
Nice, right? Field goal city in Detroit,
right?
Baby. Raining those field goals down in Motown.
Well, I mean, think about it. It kind of ties into what we were talking about last week, where we can move 20 to 20. It's the red zone that we struggled with. Except instead of turning the ball over, we got 3 points this time.
I think I called that last week because I was like, I don't give a shit. Just go field goal.
You're like, give me the three.
Give me threes all day, baby. And that's what they did. 6 of them. Real quick, Antonio coming in, go Bills. Yes, sir. And Daniel coming in. Always, Daniel's on every one of our podcasts. Thank you, Daniel, for showing up once again. Go Bills. Yes, sir. Go Bills. So as you guys know, I was at the game in Detroit. Why not? I had free tickets, and they were very good tickets, Mikey. I think I was like 20 sections up, 20, whatever. I was there. I was right caddy corner. I was on the visitor side, which was actually the Bill side because they took visitor. They wanted to do everything visitor. Matter of fact, they even went into the visitor locker room.
Yeah,
because they just want to whatever prepare for Thursday's Thanksgiving game, which makes sense. I like the idea. But anyway, so it was benefit for me. But what sucked obviously is when they're on the other side of the field. I couldn't see shit. I tried my best, but I had a blast, man. A really good time. I want to say real quick too, the Cleveland Browns fans there that did show, and it was about 70-30, I would say. 70% Bills, which is a good turnout, 30% Browns. I will say, honestly, Browns fans, they were pretty loud, and they were also very respectful, man. I got to say, they're nice fans. They did not, they weren't rude. And I was having fun booing them or whatever, but they weren't extreme. They weren't, arrogant. Not that they can be. I mean, their team's bad right now, but still, you know how fan bases can be sometimes, even ours. But credit to them. They weren't. I didn't see no fighting outside the stadium. You know what I mean? Nobody acting stupid or foolish. So overall, it looked, at least on my point, everything looked good. Bills fans were having a blast, man. I saw a lot of them tailgating at a local bar that was right by the stadium. The snow stopped the night before, so it really wasn't bad to walk in. It was cold, but once you got a stadium, Mikey, it was nice and warm. Not warm, but just nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure the players were like, "Damn, this is the shit.
This is way better."
Whoa!
Listen, it was so warm, it put them to sleep to start the game.
Oh, Mikey, you have no idea. I was like, my friend looked over to me, the one that took me, he's like, it doesn't look like it's gonna be a good game for you guys. I'm like, it's early. Calm down. But we always tend to give up a touchdown right away. I don't know why, but we always do. But yeah, Mikey. So you watched at home, obviously.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on the game, first of all, before we dig into stats and all that other crap? What's your thoughts on the game?
Ultimately, I thought it was a B+ game. It's your break out of the funk game. We needed points. We needed to stop turning the ball over. We saw that. The defense was dominant in the middle half of the game. Got pretty loose towards the end like they have been the last few weeks. I'd like to see it tightened up there. Josh didn't have to be a superstar this game, and he wasn't. You
Right.
know, he had
Just like he
27
says.
attempts. Yeah, he was
Yep.
18 for 27, 197, 1 touchdown, no picks, 3 carries, 7 yards. Other people picked up the slack for the first time in a while, so it was nice to see that it can be done.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm somebody work related. Okay. Yeah, man. So from my vantage point, what I like to see, and it's funny, if you guys see the title, Bills Run Wild versus Browns.
Mhm.
Obviously, I use that kind of as a joke in a way, but we did do good in the running game. And somebody tweeted at me, was like, I'm old school. I know what ground and pound is. And I tweeted back, Mikey,
Mhm.
this was ground and pound for this current team. That is a ground and pound
Right?
for this current team, guys. That was a ground and pound game, even though technically it wasn't. But I mean, for what we've been doing and what we've have been doing for the past
Mhm.
3 seasons, yeah, I would say we ran wild in Detroit. So, it was good to see finally. Obviously, I will say this, probably not going to continue like that, but I believe they do get the run game more involved. I just don't know if it's gonna be that many carries for Cook and Singletary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Both had good amount of carries. Here's my feeling on the game, watching the game live, Mikey. So I could tell right away, first drive, everyone looked sluggish on defense right away. I'm like, damn, these guys look. And I looked over to my friend, like, and I even tweeted it. The Bills look like they haven't practiced all week. Oh, that's right, they didn't. So they look sluggish, right? They
Mhm.
just look like they got off a flight, which they did Saturday night, right? So listen, guys, I mean, because I didn't really take it all in until midway, where I'm like, and then even after when I was doing a post game, I'm like, you know what? We got to start being so tough on this team. And I'm going to be honest with you, Mikey. Like, I know I've been tough on them. You've been tough on them.
Mhm.
But ultimately, listen, we're 7-3 now. This whole season, I can't name but one game, maybe two, at the Titans game that we were fully healthy, right?
Yeah.
And forget Trey White. I'm just saying with the team we had going in. So that's one. And these aren't, listen, for anyone saying excuse, this is an excuse. I'm just throwing this out there. So all Bills Mafia can sit back and look at the big picture. Because I honestly, I really haven't. Sometimes your emotions get caught up. And you want this team to win so bad. You're like, oh, it sucks. But we haven't had a healthy team since week 2. A fully, like, since then, it seems like one guy comes back, 2's missing. 2 comes back, 4's missing. That's one. 2, it's like we're dealing with something almost every game, right? So let's go back, the Dolphin game. It's like 125 degrees there, right? We're purposely stuck on one side of the field. The players are like getting hit with, IVs all game, like wildness, right? Like unheard of sun in Miami. Like it was really hot there. Like that's okay. So they're boomer, and we had players out. Then we had the neck injury. Then we have the Micah Hyde neck injury. He's gone for the season, right? So thing over thing. Then we get snowed in. We can't practice. We barely get to Detroit. Like there's so much that's going on, guys. And for this team to still come out, still get a victory, right? It says a lot about these team. And I know there's like players like, Dane Jackson, this guy, Benford, but guys, man, we're 7-3. They're not doing as bad as you think. Yeah, they're not doing great, but they're doing enough for us to get the dubs until our team is finally healthy. And that's what I'm seeing now. And that's why I kind of have to dial back for my whole ranting that I've been doing on the Bills. Yeah, some of it is on the players and coaches, but some of it is just because it is what it is, Mikey.
Yeah.
It's a string of bad luck. It's a string of things just not going our way. But things can start going our way when players get healthy. Hopefully that jinxes whatever's going on, stops with our injuries, right? Hopefully Trey comes back. I'm thinking New England. I'm going to call it right now. If he's coming back, I think it's a Patriot game. And then we can start really gearing up for the playoffs because that's what it's all about, guys. Remember, this is just a regular season. I know we want to get that 1 seed, but let's just get in the playoffs. Let's do some damage there. Let's get a healthy team. Let me get some comments, Mikey, before you go. because I was just going on a rant there. Triggs, yo, what up, Triggs? Channel Z. It was a clean game considering the predicament they were in this week. Snowed in, relocated to Detroit, illness, no excuse facts, like you said, 100%. Triggs, look, you can't expect Dane Jackson or Benford to cover Amari Cooper 101, especially with lack of practice. Yes, exactly. Scott Blakely, who's been very upset, and I'm sure it's going to be something bad here before I even read it. Bills have problems. I told you. Sorry for the newsflash. Can't hold a lead. Corners are awful, Tommy. One onside kick that almost okay. So here we go. Let me answer your questions real quick. That's part of my rant. Anyways, Indy Ray, hey Detroit, did you go to the Bills game? I sure did go to the Bills game. I had a blast. I actually did a video on my some videos that clips that I recorded from the game. If you want to check it out, it's on my Mafia Sports Report that you'll see it. But listen, Scott, I know you're down and out. I get it, and I understand you're not happy with Dane, you're not happy with Benford, all that crap. Listen, let's dial back. One, Benford was a 6th-round pick. He wasn't. Come on, really? Did you expect Benford to even start to be this good? Yeah, he's going to have some rookie errors. He's not Sauce Gardner. He's not our 1st-round pick. Kaiir Elam, also, he's hurt. He didn't even play. And he's also going to go through some bumps in the road. That's the way it is. And he also wasn't a top 5 pick. Okay? That's another thing. The onside kick, it happens. But did it happen? No. It went out of bounds. So who cares? The game's over. Listen, it's not about excuses. These are just facts. I understand you're upset, but the corners will get better. If Trey comes back, which I'm really hoping he does, and Kaiir Elam comes back, trust me, they will hold down. They will hold down, okay? But players that we've been playing are top-notch dudes, man. You don't listen. Justin Jefferson, for the most part, burns a lot of good DBs in this league.
Mm-hmm.
He might have a bad game here or there, but you're not a fan of whoever they played the following week, and he burned. So you don't know about their corner situation. They could have excellent corners, but he's getting his numbers. Why do you think he's one of the top dogs in the league? They all listen. You don't think Diggs is covered by the best DBs week after week on their every roster we play? Of course they are. And Diggs is putting up absolute great numbers, right? Does that mean their DBs are, oh man, their DBs suck. Their DBs suck. We got a DB problem. You can't do that. You got to look at the big picture. You understand that not all of our DBs are studs like Trey White. It's going to take time, man. Same with our safeties. By the way, Jordan Poyer, you see we are now what, 6-0, Mikey, since Jordan Poyer came back?
Yeah. We're 6-0 with Poyer.
Okay, 6-0 with Poyer, right? Hamlin is starting to become a star. I know you may not see that, Scott, but he is, and everybody sees it, and I hope you do see that one day. This team will turn around. You will get happy again. That's all I can say. I know you're upset, man, but I promise you, Scott, this team will turn around, and they're 7-3. I don't know what you really want out of a team that's been beat up all year, injured, players out for this season, losing our best safety, one of our best safeties, Micah Hyde, going through snowstorms, not being able to practice all week, flying we had a lot against us, and we're 7-3. You got to really sit back and say, damn, for everything that's happened, 7-3, that's pretty damn good. And that's all. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at that. Mikey?
No, I don't disagree with what you're saying. Another piece that we didn't talk about is how Josh got hurt the last couple games.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about
who's going to be hurt. Who's going to be lingering pain all year, by the way.
And they mentioned it on the broadcast. I know you didn't get to listen to it, but they mentioned on the broadcast, Darren, it says, for the most part, it doesn't bother him. But when he has to drop his arm angle and throw it sidearm, it gets that tingle, and then he kind of loses feeling in his fingers. And that's where some of the inaccuracy comes from. So, I mean, there's so many little things that have gone wrong.
Some positive from Scott.
Yes. Poyer's a stud, by the way. We missed him.
And Milano, you are right.
Yeah, and we missed him. By the way, I don't know if you got to really pay attention to it when you were there, but that blitz that we sent Milano on was perfectly timed. It was nice to see us get aggressive. Yeah. Like the left tackle went with Von Miller on the inside, and Milano was left all by himself. It was awesome.
I told you, I love when they send linebacker blitzes. We very rarely do it. Can you imagine, Mikey, if they put that in like a little bit more in the defense with Edmonds and Amala? These guys would have unbelievable stats. They would look
Yeah.
way better than people really understand how good, because anytime we send them, they both get home or they both get damn close or make something happen. Make the quarterback make a mistake, throw the ball away. I can't listen once again. Now I will say, let me back up. This game plan that I saw, you could clearly tell it was all about stopping the run. And we absolutely did against two of the arguably 1-2 backs in the league, right? But one, you know, as far as a combo goes,
he was
absolutely.
Yeah, Chubb was the NFL's leading rusher coming in.
Right, absolutely stuffed him, and it's not like they didn't run Chubb. I think he ran like 16 times, like something like that. They ran Chubb. What
I think he had what? Yeah, 18. He 18
had here? Okay, I thought it was 16.
Oh, he had 14 for 19 yards.
Yeah,
but then he also had 3 catches for 48.
Yeah, well, the one was a big screen pass in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Overall, though, the run defense was back to what we remember, and with no Edmonds, the run defense was very solid. However, the pass defense not so much, and I understand that's why Scott's unhappy. But like I said, man, like you got to pick your poison. It sucks. I didn't like to see it. I get it, but Amari Cooper's going to make those plays. That's why he's Amari Cooper. It's not like I don't know. It was Zay Jones kicking our ass in that game. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if it's I'll be like, hey, fucking Amari Cooper, we can do. You know what I mean? It's not Trey White guarding Amari Cooper and Trey's just getting, slammed all night, right? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It sucks. I hate seeing it, but ultimately, I think it was kind of the game plan because they had the stuff to run, because you got the run going, we would be in big trouble in that game. And they did their job, man. I kept saying it was a sloppy. It wasn't even a sloppy game because we didn't make sloppy mistakes. I think it was more of it looked more of like they were dragging their feet, right?
Yeah.
It was just like they weren't.
It was an average. It wasn't. They weren't hyped up for the game. It was one of those it seemed like it's business oriented.
Right. It doesn't seem like they didn't have their energy drinks or coffee.
Yeah.
It just seemed like they were going with the motions, and they kicked it up a little bit on that second quarter 2-minute drive. You could kind of see the offense waking up at that point, doing the right things. But even in the second half, it was still a little like sluggish, right? And hey, Mikey, you travel, right? You get off the plane, like, come on, man. You're not an athlete. I'm not saying, hey, Mikey, tomorrow morning, I need you to wake up really early. I need you to go fucking run with Amari Cooper up and down for 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, I'm not using excuses. I'm just saying, like, yo, you guys, there was a lot that happened. I kind of understand. But I will say, Dane Jackson has not played too well the last
couple weeks.
Yes, three games. Okay, struggled. Yeah. He's definitely struggled. I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully, he can correct it. But if you can't, listen, Kyrie Allen will be back soon. I believe Trey will be back soon. They'll figure it out. But I don't think he's playing so bad where he's there. He's just not making a play on the ball for some reason. He's always like on there. Like he was there on the initial play, and he just couldn't knock the ball. He couldn't get it. Like Cooper just made a really good catch in that first touchdown. Like, he was actually Cooper covered.
And that was the first touchdown was Teron Johnson, by the way.
Oh, Teron. I'm sorry. Yeah. Teron made a good play on that.
Yeah.
But Teron, the problem was Cooper.
He got on his backside. Yeah.
He boxed him in.
Yeah.
And bro, he outmuscled him for the ball. I mean, there's nothing you could do when you're.
And, Scott puts a comment in here, Tommy, and he's not wrong. He understands that. Frazier's scheme at times is far too conservative, and it drives me crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
At the end of the game, there was no reason to play, like when they got down to the goal line, our corners were off of them playing in the end zone. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I'm almost thinking this, Mikey, and I know he's stubborn. And I think, like, I do believe he has, like, that little Dable in him, right? Where, like, he gets caught up in his own ways. But you guys got to remember, McDermott is a defensive coach.
Yeah,
he could call a play
It's the same scheme.
It's his scheme, right? And if he really wanted to change a play, damn well he could, because he did it before. If he wanted to really take over the call, So don't be all pointing the finger at Frazier because you have no idea that McDermott changed the call or that's McDermott.
I wasn't.
You have no idea.
Frazier. Yeah, it was
Who
more
knows?
Frazier and McDermott.
I think they both agree, right? McDermott's the coach. He has to be like, yeah, I like it. I like it. You know what I mean? Like he could change it if he wanted to, or call a timeout, or I don't like this. Like that's what the head coach for, guys. Like he's in charge of that shit, right? But I agree with you. Like it's frustrating because it's situational football. We talked about this. Know your opponent. Know how much time you got left in the game, right? Know when to bring your blitz. Why are you playing soft zone continually on, like, for instance, the Jets played Patriots yesterday, and the Patriots play them exactly how I would love the Bills to play. That's how you bring the blitz against a guy who does terrible against pressure, and Zach Wilson. We did not.
Yeah.
We continued to play this soft zone, and of course Zach Wilson's going to look – now, he didn't look great. I thought he looked good. But if you put pressure on him, Zach Wilson's a mess, a hot mess. Can't do nothing right. And I don't understand why Frazier continues to just be in his way. Hey, we're just gonna zone. We're gonna send forward.
Zone rush forward. Rush forward.
Bro, it doesn't always. You and me an offensive line that may go, hey, we can hold your 4. You know what I mean? For the most part, not every offensive line sucks, right?
Yeah.
And then what if the quarterback gets out of the pocket? You're screwed. Which, by the way, happened against the Browns. Jacoby Brissett, very first drive, 25-yard run. Because we sent 4, there's nobody back, nobody there. He just took off. And Jacoby Brissett isn't Mr. Fast guy. He's not a track star, but there was nobody there. Nobody. So it's like, it's very frustrating. It really is. And then sometimes when we send blitzes, we send our safety in. I don't get that. Safety blitz. What are you doing?
Send the backers.
Right. So there's a lot that's frustrating sometimes, but ultimately, I will say this defense is good, guys. It is. And you got to take into consideration, we have a lot of young dudes. And we're also missing Gregory Rousseau, who hasn't been on the field in 2 weeks. That's a big loss. He's been playing very good. So just dial it back a little bit. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. And let's see what happens moving forward as we get players back. Triggs, don't get me started on that guy. The way RG3 was defended him was so baffling. Yeah.
Wilson's being benched.
Is he really? Who said that?
That's what is up here in the comments. Who said it? Trek said it. Yeah. Jets Sala won't commit to QB Wilson as the starter.
Wow. That's interesting.
He played bad, and then he got in front of the media yesterday and just, they threw him up the softball of, do you feel like you let down the defense? Yeah. And he said no.
He said, nope. I heard that. I also heard reports that he's not really liked in the locker room. That he like a lot of players, like he has that. You know what he may have, except for the fucking.
Manziel.
Well, even Manziel didn't do that. You know who did that? Kind of like a Cutler, where he just rubbed people the wrong way. Mm-hmm. He had talent, but I think Cutler had more talent. Cutler was a talented quarterback.
Mayfield was
just didn't give a shit. Mayfield, oh, definitely. Like I think he's more on the Mayfield level because Mayfield, I think Cutler's a better passer than Mayfield. Cutler,
Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler had
he just didn't give a shit.
Pro Bowl seasons.
He just didn't care. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't care if it seemed like he just didn't give a shit. That was his problem. And if you don't give a shit, you don't ever get anywhere. And Zach Wilson, I think he is like on that. Hey man, not my fault, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yo, you do realize the guy that was in before you was throwing for was the leaguer and leading the league in passing yards before you took over. I think he was up there, top 3 or something at the time.
Flacco?
Yeah, he was throwing for 300 each shot. You got to go back, but I'm almost 100% sure he was really throwing a lot of yards. I mean, I think he's probably ahead of Wilson at this point still. Can anybody check that? I'm very curious. Flacco's passing yards to Wilson's. I almost can promise you Flacco might be ahead.
Are we sure it's gonna be Flacco? Are we sure it's not gonna be the Mike White experience?
No. Flacco, I'm telling you. I'll have to look up the stats.
I love Daniel's comment here. Cutler had $1 million arm, but a 10% or 10-cent head. Yeah.
He wasn't.
He wasn't a good leader.
No, he was. But there's been guys like that. Jeff George. I mean, I know it's old school for you guys, some of you guys, but Jeff George, great talent, awful like locker room guy, awful like just didn't give a shit. Like, and can't have that. Flacco, by the way, had
Cutler is Jeff George. You're right.
900 yards, 1279 for Zach Wilson, but games played 3 for Flacco, 7 for Wilson.
Yeah,
and I mean that's difference of what 300 yards. Like,
yeah,
that's terrible. That's really bad, dude.
And see, Triggs, this is kind of the problem with these talking heads coming out and talking against someone like like Wilson when they said they come up and they start defending him, saying it's the head coaches because he's a defensive guy. Guess what? So is Sean McDermott.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to have a young quarterback who turned into something.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Dallas, by the way, you are right on that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike.
He was hit and miss coming out of college, though. Like some people loved him, some people hated him. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson.
Oh, Zach. Yeah, I did notice that.
Some people thought he was going to be a first-round pick. Some people thought he should have been like a third-round pick.
Yeah.
Scott Blakely was the super chat. We appreciate it. So the white elephant in the room, Jay was reset with training wheels. No way we can win the Super Bowl with a tentative QB. I don't know if he was truly tentative. I don't think that was the game plan was to run the ball because they didn't get much practice time.
Yep.
And honestly, I think that elbow's worse than they were leading on because he didn't have much time to rest.
So yeah, what I saw from the game, it may be, but I don't know if it's so much the elbow. Obviously,
I think he just took.
You know what? No, I think it was game plan.
Yeah,
I really do. I'm telling you, Scott. I think we're looking more into this than we should, even with the elbow thing. I'm not saying it doesn't bother him, and I'm sure it does. It's going to bother him the rest of the season until he gets it repaired, right?
Yeah.
But I think this was more of a game plan by McDermott and Dorsey coming into this game, going, "Hey, you know what? We're limited all week. We didn't practice at all. Let's control the ground, right? Which is time, right? And let's win that battle, and let's see what we can do if we do good running, right? Which, by the way, the Browns are one of the worst run defenses in the league. Hello, right? Something, by the way, Dable probably would not have done. So let's give Dorsey a little credit because Dable might have thrown here 50 times, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So I'm almost sure that McDermott and Dorsey said, we're going against a bad run defense. We haven't practiced all week. Josh is, let's give Josh let's limit Josh on his throws. If we don't need to throw, have him throw 40 times, let's not, right? And let's run and see what happens. And I think it worked out great. Now, was Josh off? Sure. Josh definitely was off. But
early. He was off early.
And by the way, he did hit a lot of players, and it went right out of their hand, especially Gabe Davis. Okay, so it wasn't all Josh Allen, but I could tell though, Mikey, watching the game, he wasn't, like I said, he was a little sluggish. Like even with him getting out of the pocket, running, you could tell he was missing a step. Like he was a little. You just could tell he just wasn't.
I mean, it was an odd week for all of them.
It was an odd. I think everybody was just spent. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, guys, you got to shovel now. You got to get we need you up. We need you to go training. We got it now. We got to get you to the buses. Now we got to, bro. Imagine that hectic ass day for everybody. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. But I'm telling you guys, think about it. You got. Let's just say hypothetically, Mikey, you're snowed in, and you got to be somewhere right the next day. And all your neighbors are out there trying to get poor Mikey, out of the driveway. And Mikey's helping, and he's getting bags. And they're like, hey, Mikey, you got to get here at this time. We need you. We can't leave without you if we don't get to. Bro, these guys were probably all hectic, bro. All of them, right? They all need help from somebody. Big ups to Bills Mafia, by the way, for helping them, right? Remove that snow because ain't no snowplow getting through there. It's 6 feet of snow. So it was a hectic week. And then they finally get to the airport. Now bro, you telling me these guys are like full of energy? Like they just ran and shoveled snow and right. So we gotta chill out a little bit. By the way, we got a super chat. Nothing, just Ed, $1.99. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate you, brother. But by the way, I'll answer whatever you want to, if you, or if I don't know if you're red zone. Red zone was great. 6 for 6 on field goals. We talked about this, by the way.
We also had two touchdowns in there, so we were 8 for 8 with 2 touchdowns and 6 field goals.
8 for 8. I apologize. 8 for 8. Exactly. No turnovers. And we talked, but hey, and by the way, we talked about this, Scott, last show, right? What did we say? At this point, I'll take anything but a turnover. Give me points, right? Let's get feeling better in the red zone, right? Let's get something. And we did. And I know it sucks. I'm not a field goal guy, but kickers are there for a reason, right? We have them on the team for a reason. And listen, he was money. 6 for 6. By the way, a long one of 58, I think. 56, something, 54, something like that. Nailed it. Okay, so very important that we have a good kicker. And and we need him for games like this when things aren't going right and we're a little sluggish. I'll take it over. By the way, perfect example. I think it was the fourth quarter. We're driving. It was 3rd down, and Josh was rolling out. Nothing there. Just slid and took the sack. So didn't force the ball, and we kicked the field goal. Great. I'll take it. Because that was on his mind, right? Because he could have forced it. And what if he forces it, throws an interception to the
And he didn't want to throw it away because he wanted to keep the clock running.
Right. Perfect.
That was the smart play.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. Listen, sometimes games are like that. Not every game is going to be a blowout, or every game's drives are going to be like, oh my God, this like unstoppable. We'll get there again. I'm sure there are going to be games where we're amazed, right? Like, man, Allen, 400 yards, Diggs unstoppable, Gabe Day. Sure, but then we're going to probably have another game where it's
I have a feeling that's going to come back towards the end of the year. I mean, this year's flowing the same way last year did.
I know.
The same.
Except for one thing. We were 7-6 last season.
Yeah.
We are 7-3. That's why I keep telling you guys in the chat, the ones that are worried, dial it back, because last year was the same results except worse. We were 7-6. It could have even gone worse. And look what the team did. The team got right, won, got in the playoffs, looked dominant. And we messed up versus Chiefs, sure. But we're back now. We're 7-3. We're off to a way better start. So just dial back.
We did. We saw that we have a punter.
Yeah, bro. We do.
And he's good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was good.
Yeah, the punter's good,
I hadn't seen him.
I know.
We had a good punter.
By the way, Bojo was there.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. And he shanked one too.
I know he did. I know. He had a good one and a shank. That was like Bojo's career.
Yep.
It's so funny.
He's always good for one shank a game.
Another thing that was good to see, and a lot of people aren't talking about it either. Nyheim Hines, really looking good on kick return, punt return. He almost got a few. I thought he had one early on. Man,
one of them, they had him by his ear hole, and they didn't call it.
Yeah. There was 2. I think he had a punt that was to the sideline. Really, man, he was so close. Man. And then the kick return was really close. But really impressed. He is fast, dude. Like,
Josh missed him on a couple passes, too, that he had openings.
Yeah. Listen, I think once you got to know Josh, too, does that with guys he's not familiar with. He always tends to miss new guys. Like, he has to get like a connection with him for Josh to really start throwing his way and throwing back. Like, it's weird. I know. Like, it's weird because Diggs came in right away and they had that connection, right?
Yeah.
But certain players, you could tell it takes a little bit, right, for them to kind of get on the same page. We got another super chat coming in from Ed. Vegas still has Bills as Super Bowl favorite. Who do they see?
What do they see? What do they see? They see the same thing me and Tommy are talking about. That it's following the same wavelength as last year, and they're expecting us to get past this little rut we have and then move on. Every team has it. Even the Eagles are going through that right now. They lost one, and then they barely hung on this last week to win. All teams do it.
Yeah. Yep. By the way, I agree with the comment about McKenzie. He is so uninvolved right now with this offense. He is doing absolutely nothing. I mean, they're not even. I just honestly, at this point, I don't even know if Dorsey's using him right, because you got to just say enough's enough. You got to just use him
They
as
tried to use him as a running back, like on that 2-point conversion. If they put Hines back there instead of McKenzie, he doesn't bounce off the defender. He goes into the defender and into the end zone.
I know, I get it, but like I said, like I think it's time where McDermott and Dorsey just say, hey, we tried the experiment. It didn't work, and it's okay. It happens. And I'm not saying cut the guy. I like Isaiah McKenzie, but it's time to put, for now, Shakir in the slot and see what the young kid can do, because I do have confidence in him. Listen, and I know we're not going to get on this talk long, the OBJ talk. Supposedly now he's saying for sure after Thanksgiving he'll make his mind up. And right now, from all the talks, which mean nothing, by the way, is it's just coming down to the Cowboys and Giants, right? But once again, that means nothing. These are just reports. Nobody freaking knows, right? But I'm kind of leaning towards, I don't think we're going to get him. I have a feeling whoever's going to sign him is going to sign him for like a multi-year deal. Not crazy long, but like a 2-year, maybe 3-year deal.
I think 3-year deal.
Right.
I can see it being like 3 years, 28.
Yeah. And
3
I think
years,
it's just,
32, something along those lines.
It's too rich for our blood right now. We don't even have it. So, and we got other players to play next season. I just can't see it. If that's the case, it's not going to happen, guys. And it sucks because he would help, but I think we got to stop thinking about it, because if it happens, it happens at this point. So we got to think about what's on this team now. And Gentry, listen, guys, Gentry, I can't believe he was even called. That's how limited we were in receiver. We got a problem at receiver right now, and that was the thing I didn't think we were going to have to start the season. So I really think they better get Shakir going now. Put him in now. Get him in there now. Let's see what the kid could do, because now we're getting to the late in the season. You already know what McKenzie's about. It's not his spot. And if Shakir shines, great. Then we got our answer, right? If it's not, then we're gonna have to figure something else out, because we're very limited.
Well, I noticed we started using Knox yesterday. He had 7 catches.
We did. He had a very good game.
He
did. Of course, he on an injury. I don't know what's going on. They said something about he has to get X-rays on something. I'm guessing foot, because it seems like that's something that's been bothering him. Let's just hope for the best.
He wasn't in the walking boot, so who knows?
No, he wasn't. Now, Mitch Morse was. That's a concern.
Morse was, like Epinesa was, and
Epinesa hasn't done anything.
And Questenberry was.
I mean, I don't want him hurt, but he hasn't done anything.
Well, Epinesa left the game before half.
I know. Shakir knows how to play a slot better, route runner. Yeah, he is. Knows how to find the soft spots, better hands, more consistent. But here's the problem, Triggs. I think. I mean, not for me, but I think for the coaching staff, I think it's more about just them trusting him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because he's a rookie. And it's not like he's a first-round pick, right? Like, he is a younger guy, and maybe it's more about playbook and maybe more about trust with Allen, right?
I'm checking that right now.
Trust is a big deal. No, I don't think I don't remember seeing him. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I don't think he was there. I could be wrong, though. Mikey will pull it up. I do have the stats. You want me to pull up the stats?
Yeah, I'm pulling up the PFF stats for
how
many.
All right.
Snaps he had.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't recall his name even being called. The track reviewer. If OBJ does not come to Buffalo, do they try to talk Gronk out of retirement? No, they won't.
No.
And Gronk won't. Gronk at this point will only come back for the Bucs and to play with Tom Brady. Like, they are best buds. He's not going anywhere. And if he were to go to another team, they'd have to pay him big bucks, because that's what he would take to. It's not like he's this great tight end because he's been sitting out. It's just the fact that he's just doing his own thing. Like, he doesn't want to play football right now. You know what I mean? Like, and he's not the answer anyways. He really isn't. And listen, he's not in football shape. It's not like he has been, practicing football all season, hoping a team signs him. He's out doing commercials and, insurance commercials and out on clubs and doing podcasts. The last thing I do wants to do is go out and get hit. So no, he
wasn't on the. He didn't get one snap.
I told you I didn't see him. Knox needs to be more involved from now on. You paid him like a 6. The problem is though, Triggs, and I agree with you. But our offensive line play has been so bad. They've been using them to block more. And it sucks because you're taking them out of the offense. And maybe they need to bring in somebody else possibly and use Knox more as a tight end receiver, like get out there and get possessions and use somebody else to come in and block. Maybe a second tight end. I don't know. I can't answer that. Maybe use Gilliam more. Maybe Sweeney comes in more as a blocker. I don't know.
We brought in when we needed the big blocker. We brought in Bobby Hart as the extra blocking tight end.
Yeah. And by the way, Bobby Hart comes in as probably a run. By the way, most of the time it's a run. And we do have Quentin Morris as well, who's he's shined in a few games. Like you could see maybe can make some plays out there, but yeah, I agree with you. They got to figure a way to get Knox more involved, but you also got to protect Allen at the same time. So I think it's tough right now with that, but hey, they used them Sunday and he made some good catches, man. And by the way, most of Allen's throws were short. Like, he took what the defense gave him, which I love. You know what I mean?
That's what he did early in the season. Yeah. He went back to what he did early in the season. The difference was we didn't throw it 50 times. We only threw it 27 because we ran 29 times for, 200 yards.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying, Scott, but he's not really used much. And when he was used, he played okay. If you go back, he's been in a few games, but how many snaps was he used? How many?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's the snap count? I guarantee it's very, very, very minimal. I'm just saying. I'm not saying use him as like.
Yeah, Morris didn't get any snaps.
Right. I'm just saying if you want to use Knox more and you want to have a blocker, we're going to have to figure that out by getting in maybe another tight end. Is what I'm saying on the field to block. You know what I mean? Kind of like a Lee Smith, right? So everybody knows what was Lee Smith's job. It was he was basically an offensive lineman, right, Mikey? And we had another tight. Like we all knew that Lee Smith wasn't out there catching the ball. He was an offensive lineman.
And Shakir did have snaps. He had 10 snaps all for runs. He didn't run one pass pattern.
Oh wow. Okay. Triggs, Roger Saffold, good run blocker, below average. Yeah. That's not true. Through his career, he was good at both. Better run blocker though, but listen, you got to remember, he's like old. He's been in the league a while. He's also battled injuries every single season. He's just a tough old offensive lineman. But yeah, you could kind of see that he's aging. He's not the Roger Saffold of before, and that's why we signed him to a 1-year deal. And that's why we keep saying next season they need to address the offensive line. Can't keep doing this Band-Aid, 1-year player, that's aging. Let's give him a 1-year deal because we can't figure it out. Like, they will, I'm hoping, address that next season. But listen, this is what we got. And they actually, listen, to their credit yesterday, except for some dumb penalties, like Dion Dawkins, somebody else got one too. They did okay. They run blocked okay. Now, mind you, they were going against one of the worst run defenses in the league, but they still handled their business. And we had 180 yards rushing total or close to that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did their job.
171.
Exactly. Josh Allen, for the most part, was clean, right? I didn't see him taking many hits. I think they got a couple sacks. Garrett got one. He slid down at the goal line around there, the red zone, to take another. So, like, ultimately, they did their job. A couple dumb penalties, but I thought they did okay. I didn't think they did play too bad. I'm gonna get some stats up here, guys, for you guys real quick. All right, Mike, let's go through the stats real quick.
All right. So at the quarterback position, Josh was 18 for 27 for 197 and 1 touchdown. Jacoby Brissett actually had a good game. He was 28 for 41, 324, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Von Miller had him multiple times for sacks, and he broke out of it because he's
Mhm.
just a strong guy. Then from a rush defense, Kareem Hunt led the team for Cleveland with 5 carries, 32 yards. Brissett had 7 for 29. Chubb had 14 for 19.
Mhm.
1.4 per attempt, the lowest of his career. No one's ever held him under 2 except for the Buffalo Bills now.
Kind of like how we did Derrick Henry week
Yep.
2.
Yep.
Under 2
Devin
yards.
Singletary, 18 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Long of 18. James Cook, 11 carries, 86 yards. His long was 29, but that 29 was almost a 70 plus. Like he was a shoestring away from breaking it.
Yeah. We beat a 3-6 team. We barely won. Listen,
I wouldn't say we barely won. We actually they got some garbage time stuff.
Yeah, listen,
it wasn't a barely win thing.
It wasn't a barely win. We actually controlled most of the second half. Yeah, we played our stupid ass defense at the end, which gave them an easy score. But ultimately, we were up like 16 at one point with like 2 minutes. I mean, come on, that was an ass whipping. Up into that stupid late minute touchdown. And there's games like that, by the way, Cali Blitz, where a score can be deceiving, where it looks like, oh shit, it was 41-32, 41, and it was really an ass whipping the whole game. But they got some cheapy touchdowns at the end. So I was there, trust me, I'm telling you right now. But either way, though, the Browns are a feisty team. The Browns really aren't as bad as their record should be. I'm going to be honest with you. Jacoby Brissett, listen, I told Mikey before, I don't know if you agree with me or not, I think he's a decent backup. He's not a bad quarterback. He can scramble a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He can throw a little bit. He makes some stupid mistakes here and there. But look, this game, he coughed the ball up once. I think he fumbled. But other than that, he had a good game. He has Amari Cooper. They got a good offensive line. They got 2 of the best running backs, like combo. They got Myles Garrett. Bro, that's a decent team. Clowney.
Yeah,
when
Clowney.
healthy.
You can never say his first name. Yeah.
When healthy. But
Davion.
listen, don't let the record fool you. Matter of fact, they stomped the brakes out of the Bengals earlier in the season. They almost beat the Jets, who we lost to. Right? They've been in tight games. They haven't been like blown out every game, right? So don't let that record totally, derail you. And it doesn't matter anyways. A win's a win, right? So we'll take it. And by the way, we're going against the Lions. So if we beat the Lions, I don't want to hear it's a bad Lions. The Lions are on a, I believe, 3-game winning streak right now.
They are.
Okay, and they beat the Giants, who everybody was up on, talking about in New York, in New Jersey. So dial back with the record. Records don't mean anything. At the end of the day, we got to get these W's. We're not looking at records because you go into a game sloppy, you're going to get your ass whooped. That's the NFL for you. Know what I mean? So I respect what you're saying, but you got to understand that's how the NFL goes, man. That's why they call it Any Given Sunday. Go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't look at that game. Yes, it came down to an onside kick with like 13 seconds left or 15 seconds left or something like that. Even if they get that onside kick, it's gonna take the Hail Mary. And now, don't get me wrong. Do I trust the Bills in a Hail Mary situation? Absolutely not. I don't trust them in any big situations right now.
Any last second.
I don't trust them in any of those. However, it was one of those things that it took everything to go right for them for a chance for them to win. The week before, same thing with Minnesota, and everything went right.
Right.
So things happen.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, it was 31-23. The Bills, basically all the way through, outside of the first quarter, the last 3 quarters, they pretty much owned the Browns.
Yeah. And listen, 7-3, we could easily be 9-1 if we didn't make some stupid ass mistakes in 2 games. I mean, honestly, guys, listen.
Really, we could be
10-0.
we could be undefeated. Yeah, we could be undefeated.
We could be 100%.
Josh Duff did the 4th down one.
Yeah,
had a chance to get out of bounds and kick the field goal against Miami.
100%. Listen, y'all. That's why I keep telling y'all. I get it. You're upset. You expect more, but none of these games that we've lost were games that were like the Jaguar game, or games that were like, oh my god, we got, or like the Colts game last season,
where we just got blown out the doors. We didn't have no 40-3.
Right, we're just like, oh my god, this team, I knew it. we went against Minnesota 7-1. Look, we got blown out. Like, yeah, we lost. It was shitty, but it was kind of our doing, right? And I know it is what it is, but we can clean that shit up. This is not a bad team, guys. Man, like, I am real, honestly, guys, I love all y'all. I'm a little disappointed that you guys are disappointed with how the Bills are playing despite everything that's gone on with this team, because this is not a healthy team. This is a team that's already had a lot of bad stuff happen. I'm not going to continue to go over it, but guys, man, like, you should be even happier that we're 7-3 considering everything that's happened. Like, I am very surprised by you guys, the negative, on this
Bills
team.
Fans.
I get it, but
fans.
I am too.
We're used to the heartbreak.
I know, I get it, Mikey, but I'm just saying, sometimes, guys, you have to take a deep breath. You have to look back and look at the big picture, because sometimes we're just caught up in the moment. We're upset, but we're not really understanding. And guys, we're 10 games in. Still got 7 games to go, bro. We're 7-3. We have a couple we have very winnable games coming up. We have guys that are potentially coming back from injury soon. Right? So, like, come on, man. Guys, you don't want that. If you feel negative, I'm going to tell you right now, just in life in general, you put your head down, you walk down, you feel like things are always going to happen bad. You're just that kind of person that things kind of happen. They go that way, right? Like that negative, that vibe, right? That aura. You don't want that. You want to put your head up, man. Start believing again. I know it sucks. I know sometimes the team can be disappointing, but 7-3, once again, with everything that's gone on, give the team some credit, man. Understand that what has happened so far, and look at the Browns record. Look at the Denver Broncos record. Look at the Las Vegas record. Look at teams that were supposed to be better. Look at their record. Look where they're at. Look at the Chargers. Should I go on, guys, about teams that were supposed to do good this season that everybody was talking about? How do you think their fan base feels right about now? Is Russell Wilson hurt? Did he hurt his elbow? Did they lose their top corners? Did they lose their top safety? Did they get snowed in a game? What's going on with the Chargers? They got a couple. Look what happened. Keenan Allen got hurt. Boom, gone, done. Now he's come back. They're still bad. They still lose. What's the excuse now? I mean, the list goes on and on. The only teams that are performing well are the Chiefs, which, by the way, we beat. Are the Tennessee Titans, which, by the way, we beat. We kicked their ass. Right?
Yep.
And the Dolphins, which we barely lost. So, guys, calm the fuck down. And that's it. I'm done with my rant.
All right. 52 minutes, and you're done with your rant.
Fuck yeah. I really, honestly, I hope you guys, channel agrees with me. I really hope you guys take that in consideration.
Yeah.
Everything. Matter of fact, I'm going to post that shit later. I'm going to clip it, post it for all y'all. Because I don't think anyone really understands that. It could be a lot worse.
It could be a whole lot worse. Could be better too, but it could be a whole lot worse. At the end of the day, we are where we are set up to still succeed in the future. You know, the mistakes that we've made up to this point with the young talent that we've had, especially on defense, has set us up to be successful in the second half of the season.
I hear you, Scott, with the super chat. I totally get you, half full kind of guys. But listen, 50 years, I've been a fan since '89. I totally understand it. I've been through the heartache, Super Bowl losses. I've been through the drought years. You know, I understand a lot of Bills Mafia are fairly new, younger generation. But it's not calling it how you see it. That's not true.
Yeah, he has his right to feel his way.
No, you have a right. No, you have of course you do. But you're calling it how you see it now. But the season's not over. Put it this way, I think when the season ends and we are how it plays out, because you have to wait to see how it plays out, because we're still if we are, like I said, the Broncos right now, I would go with what you're saying. But since we're 7-3, I would say wait till the season plays out, and then I would say this is not the team. Like I don't like it. You know what I mean? I totally get it. I am with that. But right now, I don't know how you could call it how you see it at 7-3 when we beat the top teams right now, who are only one loss we're only one loss worse. Than the Chiefs. If the Chiefs would have lost against the Chargers, we would have bumped right up to what, Mikey? I think third. I believe, because
we would have been in the top.
We would have jumped. We would have jumped the Chiefs. We'd have jumped the Chiefs.
No, we wouldn't have jumped.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have jumped the Chiefs because we.
Oh, they're winning their division. They're winning their division, right? We would have jumped somebody though.
We would have jumped the Chiefs in the overall power ranking.
Yes.
But not
and
in the
not
seeding.
Tennessee and Baltimore either, because they are leading their divisions. But there was somebody I forgot who we would have jumped. We would have jumped somebody. But either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Either way, we beat the top teams. My point is, and we can do that again. So why wouldn't you think that if we beat them once and we kill Tennessee, that a healthy Buffalo Bills team can't get back to that playing style again? Like, I don't understand, because it's not even like we're getting blown out now. So I would just say, Scott, I love you. I do. You're one of my favorites, bud. But I would hold off on getting too this is not it. This is not the team. I just calling out, because you don't know that yet. We're 10 games in and we're 7-3. I don't know how you could say that. Like, if we were 3-7, I totally could agree with you.
He's talking about the last 3 weeks. He's living in the moment, not
exactly.
Not in the
that's my
season.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So you got to keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. Take a step back and look at the big picture.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I get you.
All right. So moving
Love
on.
you, Scott. Yeah.
Moving on. Receiving. Knox 7 for 70 led the team. Davis 6 or 5 for 68. He had 7 targets, 2 drops. Those 2 drops were killer drops too. Stephon Diggs 4 for 48, 1 touchdown. Singletary 2 for 11. So there was only 18 completions. We didn't throw very much. We only threw 27 times. So defensively, Dotson had 13 tackles, 9 solo. Milano had 12 tackles, 8 solo, 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss, and almost had a pick.
Yep.
Tron Johnson had 8 tackles. He struggled in coverage. It's going to happen from time to time. It's going to happen from time to time.
Yeah, normally he does very good, but you'll have your bad games.
We're still missing 3 All-Pros back there.
100%.
And
Poyer's not 100%.
Yeah.
Guys, just a heads up.
Yep.
Just because he's out there doesn't mean he's 100. But go ahead, Mikey.
Yep. Poyer had 5 tackles, 2 solos, had a tackle for loss, and he had a key breakup early.
He did.
He played center field.
I think it was Njoku.
Yeah.
I believe he hit.
Who's going to come down with a big pass, and then he wrecked him. It was great to see him back out there.
Yep.
Ultimately, we only had 1 sack, and that was Milano getting the sack on the perfectly schemed blitz off the edge. I told you Vaughn had a chance for 3, and he broke out of it. So.
What's this question?
Dodson? I don't understand what he's asking.
I think about talking about Terrell Dodson, maybe, but about Terrell Dodson. Does he play if Edmund? Yeah, he played. He actually led the team in tackles, I believe.
Who?
Correct.
Dodson. Yeah, Dodson led team tackles, but he struggled in pass coverage.
He did, but he's not Edmonds. He has his limitations.
Yeah.
What he could do. That's why he's in reserve.
The signing of Klein comes down to the fact that Bernard, our 3rd round pick, isn't ready. We put him back out there, and he looked lost again. Yeah, he looked lost again yesterday.
He's lost.
That's the reason you bring back Klein at depth in case of the injury.
He's gonna. I told you from when we drafted him. I could be wrong, but I see him as a special team guy, bro. Yeah. I cannot see him at that spot.
I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now.
It was early. Yeah, it was what, round 3? Like, I did not.
Yeah, Dylan Parham would look awful good on that offensive line, filling in when we have.
I don't get it.
Injuries. So.
Yep, don't get it. But it is what it is. Can't be mad now. It's like
now all we can do is root for his growth. That's all we can root for.
Yep.
But ultimately, that's kind of sets us up. Team stats overall, they basically outgained us in almost all the stats outside of the scoreboard. They had more first downs. They had more plays. They had more total yards. They had more passing yards. We killed them in rushing yards, Tommy. That was the big one. We beat them 171-80.
Yeah, we absolutely dominated.
In red zones, And red
without
zone.
Josh Allen, by the way.
Yeah.
Because normally, we've beaten teams, believe it or not, in running.
Yeah, but it
was because of Allen, right? Yeah. Like Allen had 89 yards, right? This game we actually won with our running backs. Like we let beat them in running. So
yeah, Scott comes in and talks about Trey White. There seems to be a disconnect between his personal doctor and the team doctors. I'm starting to think we may not see Trey until like Miami.
Wait, who is that? Is that a report?
Yeah, a report came out today on it. The report came out today.
Okay, so I didn't read that report. So they're saying there's a disconnect between his team doctor and his personal doctor. Yeah. So his personal doctor saying what though? He's ready.
No,
and the team
that he's not ready.
The opposite.
The
wow,
opposite.
Interesting. See, that's interesting.
And Trey's taking his personal doctor's advice.
It's his life. It's his career.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's true, remember, reports are
those are just reports.
Don't always go with that. I listen. I have a weird. I'm telling you, Mikey. I have a weird feeling you're going to see him in the Patriot game. I just do. I don't think he comes back.
I
have a gut feeling. Maybe you're right.
He comes back until the Dolphins game.
Very possible. I just have a gut feeling you see him in the Patriots game. I just have a gut feeling. We'll see.
Thursday night.
Yeah, it's very close.
Because that natural grass field is the reason why, huh?
Well, no, it's not just that. It's the natural grass, and it's the team they're going against. A team that it can kind of knock the rust off kind of game. Because Mac Jones and that receiving crew is not going to, what they are. They are not a threat, right? Perfect opportunity for a guy to knock the rust off, go out there. He doesn't even need to play all game, but let's just go in there. You know what I mean? Make some early mistakes, some whatever it happens, because it's going to happen early. Perfect game, perfect opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why I see him, because you put him in the Dolphins game right away. You're going against two of the best receivers in the league. It's not really a warm-up game. It's a game where it's like, okay, we need you. Go out there. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Patriot game would be ideal for him to get some snaps in. He doesn't even need to play all game. But we'll see. Like if that report's true, then we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. If that's true.
Yeah.
Because then you may not see him at all. Because who the hell knows, right? And but from everything I've been hearing besides today, there's been no setbacks, meaning if there hasn't been a setback, that means there ain't no doctor going, there's a setback, he's going to need more time. I don't feel comfortable. So we'll see.
You have to remember, his 1 year anniversary doesn't come up until this Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
All right, Tommy, we're about an hour in. You have a commitment you have to hit.
I do have a commitment, guys. So, hey, the chat was hot tonight. Lit. Callie just not feeling it. Callie and Scott not feeling it. I understand, but we will talk during the playoffs in this chat room. But anyways, guys, I gotta go. Everybody tonight, awesome. Thank you so much for the super chats. We appreciate all of you guys for coming on. We will be back on Friday Night Lights at. Actually, no. Let me think about that real quick. Mikey, are we doing anything for Thanksgiving or no? Because we have a Thanksgiving game.
We do have a Thanksgiving game.
Friday Night Lights, it would be kind of a recap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a post game, but I'm already going to do post game. Like,
I'll tell you what.
I might do something Thursday post game. And so that will be our Friday Night Lights, guys. So post game Thursday, Thanksgiving. I know y'all be with your family. I know some of y'all won't watch, but watch.
It'll be morning for me because the Bills have the first one, so I'll be able to do it before I head out to my family's.
Yeah, it's fine. Perfect. So, guys, look for us right after the game. 3:30? I guess 4:00, something like that. We'll be going on, and no show Friday, but that will be our show. Tomorrow is Nuclear Heat Wave Wrestling Podcast at 8:30, and then Wednesday is Dingers, Dunks, and Drives at 8:30. Tune in, man. Show the guys some love.
And then Saturday we'll have
Fantasy Kingdom.
Yep.
And the AFC Shakedown. So, guys, I appreciate you all once again for coming in. Bills Mafia #1. Go Bills. We're out. Peace out.
Go Bills.
And I will remember the outro.
And look at it go. He could go all the way. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go, Buffalo.
Let's go, Buffalo.
Let's go, Buffalo.
Let's go, Buffalo. Go.
The Bills make me want
Wanna
to shout. Peace out, guys. Go Bills.